and some information about changes to that roster, some new faces in Florida Championship Wrestling. And you are indeed listening to the Wrestledope podcast. Now, Florida Championship Wrestling this week, the results that we believe were the TV results, of course, we're not in Florida, and that TV show very tricky to watch sometimes, but these results, I believe, are how they stand. The players' rep, Titus O'Neil, defeated Cable Jones. The tapings then started with Donnie Marlowe with Tamina defeating Biggie Lanston with an X Factor. Don't really know much about that one.
Neither do I.
An X Factor. Maybe they are watching some UK television. But Johnny Curtis defeated Leo Kruger with a top rope leg drop. Curtis came out with surgical gloves on and was playing a hypochondriac. Again, we're new to the product. A lot of these names not meaning much to us yet. But certainly, I think FCW should try to get that show on TV outside of Florida.
I think I know what the X Factor is. I could be wrong, but was it not that move that Six-Pack, when he was X-Pac, did back in the day? Was that his finisher?
I think it was. I think it rings a bell there.
Could be.
Indeed, Joe Hennick, Mr. Perfect Son, defeating Derek Bateman with a perfect plex. That's some excellent news from old school wrestling fans here to all of you old school wrestling fans on Justin, that Joe Hennig using the perfect plex, and it looks like he is going to be Mr. Perfect Mark II.
Yeah, I like it. Now that's perfect.
That is indeed perfect. We want to say hi to our chatters, including Tom Kerr J. He says hello from Shervport. What do we think of the next concept and who will win next? Now, we had our next wrap-up, but who do you think will actually win NXT?
I think Daniel Bryan would be a good contender, and I would like to see him win it. But I think the winner will actually be David Otunga for his celebrity credentials and his star power, being an A-lister, well, having an A-list wife, I suppose. Or it is his wife, or is it his girlfriend?
It's his wife, yes.
Yeah. And WWE fans have been in the spotlight, so having a guy like that winning the NXT and being a new show would be a good option for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if David Otunga wins it, but I don't want him to win it. I want Daniel Bryan to win it.
You're up for Daniel Bryan winning. Personally, I hadn't actually decided, but if I was to think about it on the spot, it would be probably the exact same, because we got to look at this in the sense that we need a guy who can work in the future, and you know, a lot of these guys are new and they have a lot of work to do, but certainly it looks like Bryan Danielson is way ahead of the pack already. He's got years and years of experience at this point. He's wrestled all over the world, and if anybody is going to be maybe the next Rey Mysterio, or at least in that sort of vein, perhaps a smaller guy who can perform, it's got to be Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, they need to have a good, experienced technical wrestler in the mix, and it's something that's missing across the board. Too many big guys like Batista and Cali, and just, you know, people that are more of an attraction than an all-out athlete like your Shelton Benjamins or whatever. Having Daniel Bryan in there would be good for them, definitely.
Yes, indeed. Thanks to Tom, indeed, who sent in that question regarding NXT, and he has in fact confirmed that he is in Louisiana. So we really like the idea of that. Nice to have you along over there in Louisiana. Certainly a long way away from us here in Ireland. But you can catch us here each and every week on justin.tv. And indeed, if you are not around to catch us on Justin, you can get the podcast. That's on iTunes. You can also get it at wrestledope.podomatic.com. And indeed, it should be on your screen on the YouTube recorded clips, which you can also find as well each and every week. They're at youtube.com/TheWrestleDope. So we've spoken now about FCW. We did have one more result to speak about, and that would be Alex Riley defeating Justin Gabriel and Wade Barrett to become the new FCW heavyweight champion. The ending saw Gabriel connect with his 450 splash once again on Riley.
Wow, that's good news.
New FCW champion, and perhaps Justin dropping that FCW championship because now he may have a bigger role to come on NXT. And indeed, Florida Championship Wrestling now beginning the reign of Alex Riley as the Florida Championship Wrestling heavyweight champion. At least they didn't put world in the title.
That's a good call out of them down FCW. Alex Riley is really good, actually. He's impressed me from what I've seen of him, and he has that. I don't know. He kind of gets it, I suppose, with the promo work and the in-ring work and the look. And a good choice for him down there to put the belt on him, to kind of for Justin to pass the torch down. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff with Riley. I like that.
Absolutely. Alex Riley now getting a push on Florida Championship Wrestling. Hopefully next week, Florida Championship Wrestling made available for the international fans. There is somebody out there who records it and indeed uploads it, but this week that not happening, which means that effectively no way of seeing Florida Championship Wrestling outside of the sunny state this week. So hopefully we will be able to catch it next week, but if indeed we don't, we have the tapings results. We don't have to catch it. We got those results, and indeed it certainly is interesting to know where those new generation stars are going and how they're doing.
Yep, we like Florida Championship Wrestling, and it's always good to see character development and see them in their early stages, and then especially if they really do break through and you can look back and say, oh, I remember when he was in FCW and then we ran with this gimmick, and yeah, that's good. Check it out.
Time now to talk about Destination X, the upcoming pay-per-view that's on tonight. And you can order that pay-per-view, or if you like, you can go to TNA Video Vault if you're an international viewer, and you can indeed watch that live now, which is a great development for us. We're going to go through the card tonight and let you know what we think about it, and certainly the matches that we are looking forward to. Following the announcement of the TNA Knockouts title match on Impact, the updated card for tonight's Destination X pay-per-view includes the following matches. We're going to have Kurt Angle taking on Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully they'll probably end this whole angle that they have running, because yeah, it's okay. It's not amazing, but I'm sure Kurt will come out on top.
Kurt Angle and Anderson, a strong pair, and the WWE's, well, at one time poster guys. But now in TNA they're certainly making an impact, and do guys look great on TV. Scott Hall and Sean Waltman will take on Kevin Nash and Eric Young. If Hall and Waltman win, they will earn TNA contracts. If they lose, they're going to be gone from TNA Wrestling.
I expect some crazy kind of interference, cheating on behalf of Hall and Waltman, and I think they're going to stay around. Definitely, they're going to get a contract. I want to see him get a contract. I want to see Hall stay around. He's entertaining.
Absolutely, and I want to say hi to Super Wrestling Fan 980. He's in our chat room, and of course Tom in Louisiana. We've got Fire Soul 86 in Scotland, and one or two other viewers as well not signed in. It's nice to have you on the Justin.tv live show, and indeed if you listen to us on the podcast, and you are now listening to us recorded or also on YouTube, do be sure to come over on Sunday evenings and check us out on Justin.tv, where you can see us and hear us, and indeed we react to your questions. And well, we've covered all pretty much of this week's TV programming, and we're now speaking more about TNA Destination X, that pay-per-view, and running down the card that will take place tonight. And it's certainly going to be interesting to see how that buy rate is.